This is the Infinix Smart 9, and yes, we're finally here. It's the latest budget smartphone from Infinix that aims to rival the likes of the Technopop 9 as well as the Spark 30C. In this video, we're going to take a look at the processor, display, cameras, all that good stuff. But before we continue, please I need you to smash the subscribe button down below for more useful tech videos just like this one. Okay, let's begin with the unboxing, and yes, this is why I love budget smartphones, except those from Samsung. Inside this phone's packaging, you get the smartphone itself, and aside that, you get an MTN voucher, an X-Pack leaflet, a SIM ejector tool, a hard plastic case, why this type Infinix, a pair of earphones, a USB-C cable, and finally, a 10-watt charging brick. If I were to be brutally honest here, Infinix kinda cheated us for two main reasons. One, that the case included can not only damage if not applied properly, but offers very little protection. And two, in 2024 they are offering us just a mediocre 10-watt charging brick, whilst the competing Pop 9 offered 15-watt charging and the Spark 30C offered 18-watt charging. But how well designed is the Infinix Smart 9? Because 90% are probably buying this phone to show off to friends this coming Christmas. And I can say it's one of the best designed budget phones I've ever seen, if not the best. Remember the Pop 9? That was a brilliantly designed phone, heavily inspired by the regular iPhone 15s. But this Smart 9 is in a league of its own. It's plastic, which is normal for this price, but I can see that it doesn't feel like one. There is absolutely no signs of flexing and creaking and whatnot, which is something which occurred on past budget phones, but we couldn't actually complain because we had empty wallets. The cameras look purposeful and practical, which is awesome, flushed in a model that is kind of familiar. I also appreciate how rounded up the corners are, which heavily mimics the iPhone build when combined with the flat display and the rear, but it's not something anyone should actually complain about. There are dual high quality speakers which are pretty loud, as well as a side mounted fingerprint scanner which is quite fast. And that's not even the coolest bit. For the first time ever on an Infinix Smart series phone, we are getting IP rating, which is splash and dust proof. That can really help out in rainy scenarios. Even made more impressive that you can use this phone whilst the screen is wet. Kinda reminds me of a certain time I took a shower whilst watching a Harry 21 video, and suddenly an ad for hamster combat scam pops up with no way for me to stop it as the screen couldn't respond. It's something which I've waited a long time for, and a lot of you guys probably had, and since it's here we can now finally rest. However, that doesn't mean it's flawless. For one, I believe the build is too flat and nothing helps out. Infinix probably tried so hard to copy the iPhone's aesthetic, they didn't actually think about how it will impact actual world usage. If you're a user of gesture navigation, forget it because you're going to get burns from all the friction, which will probably make you undergo surgery costing 10 million naira. Am I glad with design? Yes. Am I glad with their poor decisions? No. But is the screen any good? Considering this is a next generation product, I'm kind of disappointed with how they did things in this aspect. Comparing this to last year's Smart 8, as you can see, it's the same screen size, same resolution, same brightness level. The only difference, however, is the fact that they bumped the refresh rate from 90Hz to 120Hz. Apparently, they worked on improving the asymmetry of the screen's borders and makes the screen feel a bit more classy, which is just a little pinch of flair that I appreciate. Software is XOS 14 slapped Android 14 Go edition.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
And I'm still saying this to companies like Tecno and Infinix. Stop saying what you can't do.
Stop it. Get some help.
Up to this very point, I don't yet understand what Tecno meant by 4 years of lasting fluency in the Pop 9's packaging. It just didn't make sense as there is no word about software updates on that phone. But now Infinix has brought theirs. What do they call it? 4 years guaranteed joy.
What the heck?
Anyways, the software experience is pretty good. It's feature rich with some upgrades to the dynamic bar that makes it feel more intuitive. Infinix's assistant Folax also got more upgraded and is now incorporated with ChatGPT to get the most reliable answers to urgent questions, or if you try to cheat in exam. Don't lie, you tried it. And as for ads, surprisingly there's none. However, there's a truckload of bloatware here and there, and inside them, trust me, you'll find a lot of ads. Although some can be uninstalled, others can't. Performance is an area which honestly surprised me. This phone is powered by the new generation MediaTek Helio G81 Ultra, which is slightly better than the Helio G85. It's a good chipset, and when paired with 6GB of RAM, everything runs pretty smoothly. But not everything would be picture perfect if you get the 3GB of RAM variant. Sure, you can top it off with extra 3GB of virtual RAM, but we all know what that means. Gaming is okay when you don't get your expectations too high. This isn't the ideal RS4, so pay attention. For simple games like Subway Surfers and Temple Run, performance will be a breeze. But once you take things up a notch to like say Call of Duty Mobile, you can only run it at low graphics and medium frame rates. And even with that, there's still going to be that lag that creeps in every now and again, even if you pretend not to see it. So with that said, the performance is okay for the price as long as you keep your expectations to the minimum. Powering this phone is a 5000 mAh battery which lasts very long on a single charge. However, when we turn to the charging, things turn 180 degrees. We're getting only 10 watt fast charging, which I'm definitely not proud of. If they could match up to 18 watts, 15 watts could have been a good safe spot where nobody will lose out. And no doubt, that slow wattage takes this phone about 2.5 hours to fill up from flat, which is a long shot from the Pop 9, which charges in only 1 hour and 45 minutes. So I guess that was disappointing. Or let's address the cameras. Let's see how good they are. This camera setup looks wide, doesn't it? But I wish I could say the same for the actual cameras. How the Infinix makes this up? The Infinix Smart 9 brings just a 30 megapixel sensor with an auxiliary lens.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
For a phone competing with the Pop 9, couldn't they have brought the same 50 megapixel sensor? Even the upcoming Itel A80 is bringing one. The photos are good, but not as good as I wanted them to be. Even the videos feel a bit off, mostly because of that low resolution. The only thing they are proud of when it comes to this camera setup is that secondary flash model, which shines up to 5 meters away.
What's that, brother?
And I think it's the most underwhelming aspect of this phone. Who thought this was a good idea probably needs a slap, as the normal flashlight is good enough to use. They should have focused more on bringing that 50 megapixel camera, but I guess that wasn't the objective. In conclusion, what I can say about the Infinix Smart 9 is that they did bring some really useful things such as the IP rating and high quality stereo speakers. However, they also really made some dumb choices, keeping the same 13 megapixel camera from last year and introducing a stupid gimmick which isn't really necessary. Who would actually use that? Unlike this stupid gimmick here, the Pop 9 which I have referenced in this video so far is a similar phone with much better advantages. Click the card on the screen to check it out.